we started off with a good group of guys, and their name, they go by the Three Brothers Racing. Their origin was Brazil, but they have a place in Huntington Beach. So they fell in love with our movies, and they were like, hey, you guys want to go to Brazil? Of course we want to go to Brazil. And that was the whole thing. They took us there.
What's up, everybody? Clint Esposito here with the Vault of Chaos. This time we are going to visit none other than Brazil. And when I say we, you know who it is. It's also John Freeman and Dana Nicholson, two of the guys that put the trip together. So, of course, we had to have them in here telling us a little bit behind the scenes what was going on. What's up, gentlemen?
Hey, Clint, how are you doing? Just checking in. We're on season 2 now, and if you can see on this side of me, we got Bubba. Can't leave him out. Our big boy. Big shout out to Bub. Rest in peace.
Yeah, Bub.
Yeah. So
bastard.
Me and D and Bub and Clint, and let's rock and roll. Clint, you have some Brazilian footage that we haven't seen for many, many years. So we're going to share that.
Just to throw it out there, kind of miss Bub's ass, man. I was thinking about him today, man, and it's, we taking a break a little bit after all the shit that went down, and man, what a joke. But on the other hand, Clint and I, and John, obviously, we've been digging into all this behind the scene footage and Bubcam. I never thought I'd be so happy to see Bubcam again, because Bubcam, he's pretty funny when he films. He's shaky guy, always filming himself and always talking to everybody. So I imagine we're going to have some really funny Bubcam coming up along with what you got for us to see, right, Clint?
Yep, I think this is Dana cam right here, what we got tonight. So this is, I guess, just the camera Dana was running around with in Brazil.
And just to give the backstory on Brazil, we got to go to Brazil for Crusty Demons 3. And we went down there with the Three Brothers Racing team. And they're at Huntington Beach, and they brought us down for the whole Brazilian adventure. Now, Dana, tell us about how did we get dirt bikes on an airplane that we're not supposed to have, and you got them to Brazil?
Yeah. Okay. So first off, we went with Three Brothers, Andre over there, and he's a bit much. So he's like, yeah, no, it's no worries. We took all the bikes together, and I had a motor in my carry-on, and we twisted tires and like figure eights and duct taped them together and everything. Excuse me. And we brought these 2 bikes in as race parts. And our whole tactic was we would wait till we were, late check-in, barely going to pull it, and then we would kind of rush it through. And I don't know, somehow we pulled it. But mind you, this footage, because coming off like how we were saying on one of the last podcasts, some of the random tapes, like say Brazil as a country, I still have the whole box of tapes of the whole film trip. This is just one random that might have been loose that I just happened to grab. So the things that we see and find, I guess it's kind of a mystery to me and you, John. It's been so long too. So we'll see what Clint queued up here, but keep it in mind.
Let's check it out. And the number one thing that they told us, because I was already in Brazil waiting for Dana to get there. I was kind of doing the other kind of shots of waterfalls, Iguazu, and all that kind of stuff, and alligators. And when Dana showed up, I was like, how'd you get those bikes over here? And basically you told me, Dana, that the lady panicked in the last minute and said, all right, just get on the plane and take those motors. And, we're always worried that you're going to take dirt bikes or things and you're going to sell them in Brazil and not bring them back. And I think you said, yeah, of course, lady. We're not going to sell them in Brazil. What did we do? We sold them in Brazil.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember we brought the
and my bike.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are definitely interesting. And you know, a lot of the stuff, these random tapes are kind of just, I don't know. I don't even know what you got, but
let's check.
Imagine. Yeah, exactly. So it's up to you, Clint. Let's rock and roll.
So of
that's
course,
how I was talking about, your
dog. Carey. Oh, we gave him a snake.
Didn't work. Woke him up.
He hated snakes.
Didn't even work.
Yeah, and I'm kind of a dick. Sorry, snake. Sorry, Carey. We always used to play with them with snakes. Like, we mess with them.
So would you guys just went out and built this thing yourselves or what?
Yeah. Everything that you see, we built.
Okay, now this jump was right off the Amazon River. And I'm pretty sure we were jumping over the boat ramp because it had a like a cutout. I mean, like a dirt boat launch into the river. And that's where the gap are actually jumping.
That's
and to get like
it looked like maybe. Carey.
Yeah, looks like he was going for a foot plant or something. Then Denny comes out, take a look at it.
Yeah, now you can see the gap.
That's the boat. That's the boat launch, the boat gap, and that goes right into the Amazon River, and it's dark as hell, like mud.
Well, there's some Seth Enslow in there. No, that's Denny Stephenson.
That's Denny. Yeah.
Yeah, Denny.
So those bikes like that Denny and Grayson have, they had to get them from our Brazilian friends. The one that Carey's riding is the one that we smuggled over, and then the one that Seth is riding that we'll see is one of the Crusty bikes.
So
the other we got from Three Brothers.
Grayson and
Grayson Goodman and Denny Stephenson
were racing. Was Carey racing as well, or no?
What's that?
Was Carey also racing?
He was when we first met him in Crusty 2, I think it was. He was a privateer, and then we kind of corrupted him and started taking him on trips because we put him in flesh gear, and he was cover boy. You know what I mean? So it was wide open. And then the racing career, because that's where we met him, was at in Florida. He was racing. He was on the road racing.
We met Carey the same time that we met Travis Pastrana.
Were they riding at the same track?
No, they weren't. Carey was out there at a race at one of the nationals or the Supercross. I think it was Supercross because I remember Phil Lawrence, them were there, and he was like a privateer for Supercross. I remember that bike, Johnny. Look at that. That's Black Knight right there.
See, so who's this?
Who is that?
Here with the Suzuki?
He's Squirrel Dog, dude.
I think that's a local kid.
That's what I said. I bet it was a local.
Carey Hart. That's some local kid.
Maybe it was one of Andre's cousins or nephews, because remember they had all the
is that Seth?
Yeah.
Right there down in your feet. I want to see how much your feet.
Yeah, see how muddy the river was? See how black the river was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the ocean in Guyana, and it's where the Amazon, I think, lets out into the ocean, and dude, it was like chocolate milk there.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is where
it rains
two rivers.
That's why it's muddy. Yeah.
This right here goes to where the two rivers meet, you know what I mean? And they kind of merge or whatever.
Yeah.
And they turn whatever different colors.
And you know
Yeah,
what's underneath? You got a bunch of piranhas.
There's Dana with a bomb drop.
You just hucked a footer. There you go.
Hey, now my feet are all jacked off. I can't even huck a footer anymore. I'm all broken. So fucked up.
We were younger.
Here you go.
Yeah,
now
right.
you were like, get your bike, do it.
We broke all our stuff.
Oh, he bitched out. He wouldn't do it, so I hucked a footer.
So yeah, he was like, I want you to jump down with your feet to see how much you sink. So you're like, all right. And he jumped in, and then he does jump it.
I'm a pretty good instigator, I guess, back in the day. But wasn't in a bad way.
We're not just filmmakers. We are instigators.
Well, that comes from snowboarding. Look at the shot, though, into the Amazon. I don't even remember using that shot either.
I don't think we did. And there's that guy.
Yeah, who the fuck was that?
I don't know. We met a lot of different people in Brazil. It's
See?
very interesting. And I'll tell you, the first time that Seth Enslow ever went on a helicopter, we were filming. I was hanging out of the helicopter filming, I think, Denny and Grayson Goodman coming down this pool thing, and they were hitting jump after jump and this and that. We got back to this lake where we're all staying around. Hey, Seth, you want to go for a ride? Your first ever ride in a helicopter? Yeah, man. So he gets in the helicopter, and it takes off with the three brothers' cousin.
Wait, go back a second.
Out of gas. Ran out
Go
of
back.
gas right over the thing, and then they had to park it immediately. And Seth's like, "Oh, thanks a lot for my first ride in a helicopter, bro."
Yeah, no, that was fucked up when homie was out of gas. But when homie falls right there, he talks. Let's hear his voice sound like.
There's the guy we're trying to figure out who it is.
I know, Free Dog, I'm trying to hear his voice. Back up again. Let's hear his voice. Listen to his voice. Are you sure it's not Grayson?
I don't think so.
It could be.
Look at that helmet. No way. You see how he's riding?
I don't know.
Let's hear what he says.
We got to see the sand dune footage of Grayson. That's
Hang on, listen to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you talked over him then. Hold on. Let's see.
Yeah. All hit. We'll figure it out. We'll get to the bottom of that.
Probably just look at the helmet and you'd know who it is.
The only way you want to drop off is jump off the top of that hill right there down in your feet. I want to see how much your feet sink.
Right there. That's him.
That's Grayson. He sounds like a fucking cowboy.
Oh, is it?
That's Grayson. Yeah, that's Grayson Goodman. Yeah, that's the butterfly.
No.
Yeah, I guarantee that because I can guarantee
All right, right
that
here.
one. It's Grayson.
Step through. Hey.
Yeah.
Eat it. Because it's too steep. The only way you want to drop off is jump off the top of that hill right there.
You know what's funny? We've been doing this for so long and making so many movies. To go back to these moments, it's like reliving it all over again. And because it's on film, we can actually.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm calling
the trip.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. I'm calling Grayson Goodman, so let's trudge forward.
Yeah.
All right. So, but he's riding a Suzuki here, crashing a bunch. But it does sound like a Texas guy now that you said that. Although his helmet, I feel like, looks different. We'll go by his helmet.
Well, there was Americans, because even the other riders, they would have been Brazilian. The Andre kids would have been Brazilian. Their whole crew's all Brazilian, you know?
I think that's Grayson.
Yeah, I'm going with Grayson 100%, even if it wasn't.
Put him up with a bike, Brazilian bike down there.
Yeah, because he was the guy that would get the leftover.
We're building a little step up right there.
Yeah, back onto the takeoff.
Yep.
Well, see, back then when we go to these other countries and it's like, you know, you get one shot at a tractor and you get like, you know, you got to kind of be creative. And that's like when we went to Easter Island, you know, we had to be really creative about how do we made the jumps, you know, and kind of like you'll see in that Japan tape when you watch Japan. But like right there, that was solid. That was a solid shot for a fucking boat dock.
Yeah.
That was cool. Cruising the Amazon. We unloaded the bikes on some of the nearby shores over there. And what was that thing? What's those big animals? It's like a pig.
Manatee?
No. It's a land animal.
A warthog.
Rodent
Oh.
in the world. And they were all
Hippo?
over when we got off the shore there.
Hippopotamus?
No. It's a rodent.
Oh.
I'll come to the name.
Hey, you know what's funny about this is we went up and down the side of the Amazon, and to find actual trails to do this and ride on, it was tough, dude. You can't imagine how
Like
thick
that
the
trail right
jungle.
there is awesome that we went down.
Yeah, but the thickness of it. Look at me. I'm all camel and dirty as fuck.
Yeah, you
See
got
that?
a bike too.
No, that's what I'm saying, dude. We literally had to cut
We were in
fucking
the
a path
jungle. Yeah.
to ride.
Love you in Brazil. How's my work?
Wow, look at that.
It's good.
And then you look around, you're like, fuck, something's gonna bite me or eat me in a minute. Look at that. Money.
It's getting a bit dark at
We
this
were
point.
only able to find those places just by taking a boat.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was the thing.
Like-
It took us like 2 hours. It took us like 2 hours going down the river just to find these fucking trails because we couldn't even find a spot to unload the bikes and get into the jungle. It was that thick, you know what I mean?
Even
Which
your
is cool.
tour guide or boat driver didn't know any areas?
No, hell no. Dude, we just we don't do things the conventional way, you know. I mean, we just find the guy that fucking has the fucking boat and extra gas and a sack of weed or whatever. We just find the guy that we just point and he takes us wherever we want to go, right, Johnny?
Well, we started off with a good group of guys, and their name, they go by the Three Brothers Racing. Their origin was Brazil, but they have a place in Huntington Beach. So they fell in love with overseas, and they were like, hey, you guys want to go to Brazil? Of course we want to go to Brazil. And that was the whole thing. They took us there, and they showed us this whole place. Like these places that they
Right.
took us like down by Rio and stuff like that. Yeah.
This is Cabo Frio, right?
Let's see what this is.
It's the white sand dunes, Cabo Frio. Because when we got there, the first place we went to,
No,
they
this
had
is
like a
still,
private.
this is still out by the Amazon, I think. No.
No, this is right next to Rio. This is
Oh,
before
okay.
we went to Rio, but they had a private jet ski lake that was like a little resort. And they
Yeah.
had a motocross track around it, and that's
Bro, we're
where
sitting
we
at the end of the road waiting for you, so we can fucking figure out where the
put the bikes together.
He was a little salty.
And yeah, right.
The Texan.
Yeah, dude, we put these bikes back together with like screwdrivers and channel locks. It was ridiculous.
For them to ride them or when you had to leave them?
For us to go ride, the ones that
Yeah.
we smuggled over in duffel bags. We went to the compound where we put them all together.
Oh, there's the old Crusty bike Seth rose on.
Right?
And then that's Carey's. You smuggled over on the airplane. Both those, that one and Carey's.
What kind of bags did you put them in?
Just big ass duffel bags, like the old school snowboard fucking bags and shit. And
So what'd you do?
You know.
Just pull like the swing arms and subframe and stuff, and had like just the motor and frame in one, and then
Yeah, exactly. And just, stuff tires in between it, this and that. And,
Can you hand
that's
the motor onto the plane?
no, the motor I had in a luggage, you know what I mean, in one. But like we just did the whole thing. Like I don't even know how the fuck we pulled it, you know what I mean? But I always learned
oh shit,
ever since back in the day with Sonny Miller, you go in hot and late, and they panic, and you get right to the plane.
You gotta get on the plane, go. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you miss the plane, it wasn't meant to be. That's my theory.
Yeah.
Coming from somebody that crashed a helicopter, I could say that. Fuck it, right?
I heard a story once. Kibby told me he was working for Jonesy, and they did a show, either a show or an arena cross or something. Maybe it was a show at an arena cross, and he pulled the motor out of the frame so fast, and just like he would bolt a handle to the top of it so he could carry it and take it like a carry-on or something. He said it was still hot when they got to the airport, and the people were freaking out about it.
Oh wow, how funny!
Usually they just want the liquid out of it.
Yeah, I think
if you drain the oil and drain all the liquid out of it, that's okay.
Yeah, but it was still hot, so they were just like, "What is this?"
Literally, you were coming in hot.
Yeah, he came in hot. You guys got to know Kibby, right? From working with Jonesy.
Yeah. Well, you know Kibby.
Yeah,
he's a good one.
Yeah,
Kibby's absolutely.
What's he doing now? Does he work for any teams or anything? Like, is he still a mechanic?
I don't know.
I'm sure.
Don't know. Been a lot of years. Yeah. Not sure.
Well, we haven't talked to Jonesy in a while anyway, so it's been a minute since I talked to Jonesy anyways.
This is the clip I put online.
One of the things that I remember of this trip to Brazil is when we were going to film Grayson, Goodman, and Denny coming down this long kind of, I think it was like a fire road or something like that. So we were in a helicopter, and I'm hanging out the helicopter with this cousin of the three brothers. And this guy was crazy. And he goes, you know what? I'm kind of bored. So while we're waiting, check this out. And he turns me sideways and starts cutting the grass that's on the below where we're going to film the guys with the blades of the helicopter. And I'm like, dude, why are we doing this? We're cutting grass with the blades of the helicopter.
What was it, like a cliff or something? You were like at the side of the cliff?
No. It was that
flat area, and he just turned it sideways and just cutting the grass.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It was at the compound. It was at the jet ski compound I was telling you about, and they have like a little shop, and they had a little motocross track, and then there's some open fields going out of it. So they're doing like a couple dirt road runs.
Yeah.
And just grassy fields with, some 3 or 4, little taller grass. And that fucking guy, he would lean it over and like, make the grass fucking chop up. And that's where Johnny was saying earlier, Seth got in it and the thing's all out of fuel. And he's like,
well, that's where we ran out of gas. We put Seth in it.
Yeah. So he was scared to even fly it with Seth because he was so far out of gas. But look at that, the beach break. Remember the buggies on the beach that we drove?
This place was, what was it, Cabo Frio?
Yeah.
And it's right out of Rio. And it's got just these giant, like, white sand dunes right next to surf spot. And it's awesome. And we stayed at a hotel that was in the middle of the sand dunes.
Yeah, and the dudes, they gave us our own little like storage room to put the bikes in. So after we would ride, we would go put the bikes in this little storage area. It was pretty cool. And it was just a little 4-star hotel. And they had a little courtyard with like a little pool and a sauna. And dude, funny story. We went in the sauna and there was some a bottle. Was it Denny went to go find some water to put on the sauna thing, and he found a bottle of clear shit in this little shed, and it was kerosene. So he poured it on the thing. It flamed up, He drops it. So we got a wall of fire and broken glass, and we're all sitting against the wall just going, holy fuck. And we had to jump out through the open door and all dive out of it. It was fucking crazy.
Did it get put out or what?
Yeah, it went out after the kerosene kind of fucking did that whole thing, but it was, remember that free dog was a joke.
Yeah. Of course.
But that was like, I think that was the night after this session here. And yeah, dude, this place was really cool. So anybody that wants to go to Rio and ride sand dunes on the beach, it's just about an hour out of Rio, Cabo Frio.
We're not even sure if you're allowed to even ride there anymore.
Well,
We went there and nobody was really doing anything. All we saw was a buggy. That's it.
Yeah, they had buggies on the beach, so fuck, they don't care. It's probably still, unless there's big condos there now and big high rises.
So Seth Enslow was approached by the guy in a dune buggy, and he said, "Hey man, I'll let you drive my dune buggy if you let me ride your bike." He's like, "Fuck it, let's go." Remember that one, D? And the guy just went straight on the beach and just cartwheeled immediately.
Yeah, standard.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this jump. That's a pretty good jump. Yeah, I mean that was a pretty good little.
You guys been talking about the last couple. That's it, because that thing got washed out or got like beat out at the bottom there. It was like too soft.
There was a couple big ones earlier with Carey.
Yes, Carey was that thing
like
is big. Yeah, but where's that one?
But I mean, with that ocean view and the deal, like, dude, what a cool treat to be able to ride at a place like that and have, you know, a couple good American dirt bikes and that whole riddle. Like,
and if you notice, there is no other tire track. The only tracks in there is us. That's it.
Yeah.
It was pure before we got there.
Right here.
That's the time that place has ever seen. Oh yeah.
And here again.
Yeah, Hart.
Sending it.
Maybe they,
and he's loving it on his own bike.
Yeah. Denny was not loving it.
Denny was trying to figure out the bike. Same with Grayson.
Yeah, well, these guys too were racers, remember?
Yeah.
Well, I guess Carey was a racer too.
Yeah, but as soon as you did the helmet cam thing with Denny, I was like, oh, that bike runs like shit. And then later he's like, this thing, you can hear it's like the valves are all loose.
Do you know how we got these shots like this?
Yeah, you're sitting on the back.
We're just hanging on. Me and Dana would just go for a ride all the time with
I used to love doing that shit, dude, and putting the camera up on the side of the face and shit. I mean, because like for me back in the day, the snowboarding, you know what I mean, was always kind of like, you know, you kind of creating yourself as like an image, you know what I mean? You kind of becoming a character, you know. And when we make these films, like back in the day, it's like it just makes you feel. Even if it's just that little brief second, it just kind of gives you the feel of the guy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's that right there? That was fucking Grayson, right?
Yeah.
He's all scared.
No, he's sending this thing.
Grayson wasn't scared. Grayson went big.
We need to call Denny. We'll have to get Denny on a podcast.
Yeah, that would be awesome. We need to pull some of this old footage and then watch it with him from one of these trips and have him reel out some stories with you guys.
Well, I mean, of course, whenever whoever we start lining up, we'll dip into this now that we're creating a little real unseen shit. You know what I mean? And it's funny because I wonder how, you know, people that are going to watch this
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How cool is that? The white sandy beach in Brazil getting the shot.
I remember Grayson was pretty stoked when we got there. Look at him; he's just wide open.
That made the movie, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he went.
Oh yeah.
In the
you know, the cool thing about it was smuggling, or not? I can't say smuggling. Bringing our motorcycles to Brazil, they were 250s, so they're a little bit lighter and a little easier to manage. At least we had that going for us, right?
Well, that wasn't the years of the 4-stroke yet.
No. We weren't even close.
No.
No.
Yeah, you get a
All the
five.
2-stroke era right here.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Here's a good little booter too.
Is there a little audio with some of this?
Denny Stephenson right there.
Yeah, there is some audio. I've just been
Turn them
turning
up a little bit, like let them underlie a little bit, so we can. See, the good old days of the 2-stroke is kind of like I'm not kind of miss that.
Ah, shit. My bad. A lot of people do.
Man, how long is this? What else? This is pretty much our wrap up on the riding of this trip, huh?
On this, then we got you guys in town.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
dear. What are we doing down?
Trying to find Jack and Coke.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I would say anything other than riding, I'm not sure if we want to see it.
I wouldn't have kept it in if it was not good. I do have to say this, Denny, whenever he jumped shit, he was like fucking super smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you notice how those jumps are all like, you take effort into finding a natural, decent hit. It's not got carpet on it. They get rutted out quick or whatever, but like the natural flow of the land.
I remember we went to a nightclub or something in town at Rio, and I think Carey went up there to maybe hang out with a band or something like that.
I don't remember that.
And it got into a full-on brawl. Carey got into like a fisticuff with Denny participating.
I don't remember
You were trying to break it up. Yeah. It was something gnarly, but Carey always liked to, get on stage and, play guitar or stuff like that. Somebody picked a fight. That's what I remember out of it. But I think Carey knocked the guy out.
Nice. Score one for our team.
Yep.
We'll leave those stories alone unless we have them actually to look at. No hearsay.
There was no
unless we
allegedly.
That's just in my eyes.
You know what I'm saying. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, this fucking place, man, this country is weird because you go like down towards the beach, but then the tourists, if you go a little more inland, they have like robbers and all kinds of like nutty shit going on. So there's like, driving on tour, doing all the stuff we were doing. It was kind of funny. We had a Brazilian with us. There's Grayson.
I don't know if you remember, Dana, but we were going like down a mountain road, and our Brazilians said, you know what? We should not be going down this road, but we're going to do it anyways, and we're going to pin it. Because that's where, when you talk about robbers and people that get murdered on the side of the road and taken for...
Yeah, they jump out with fucking machine guns and shit.
Yeah, we had to pin it through certain areas that our Brazilian guys knew there's danger if we go down this road. Wow. And so they pulled it for us. I don't know how, but yeah, they knew the lay of the land, and told us what was dangerous, and we're going to get through it. And here we are. We're living.
Remember fucking, what do you call it? Andre and them, they told us that in the mountains, the what was it, the rich people live at the bottom and the poor people live at the top, because most of them have to walk.
That's a good jump right there. Yeah.
Here we sit.
But they have like bandits that come in out of the hills and all kinds of weird ass shit. I look at a little 3-pack.
Well, Denny bails out of it.
That kind of gives you the lay of the land right there. How cool is that?
That was a sick ass jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And the cool thing is, like, our hotel's right behind us.
We got you.
A little bit of sand.
Yeah, I got a little bit of sand. It's white, anyways.
A lot of cactus.
Cactus.
A young Carey Hart right
That
there.
clapped out fucking Honda.
A young Denny Stephenson.
I think it's fucking weed, huh?
Clappy. Yeah, the young Denny.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, this is all out of Crusty Demons 3. So it would have been not 94, 95, probably 96. 1996. There's a young Seth Enslow.
Denny and Grayson were racing arena cross back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got John Bon Jovi. Special new edition.
Oh, funny.
You know, the cool thing about, these travels is we were all doing it for the first time all together.
Yeah, turn them up a little
bit. Those guys have never been to Brazil. So we were exploring, for the first time, like, what is this place? Oh, this is Brazil. And we're here to have fun and ride dirt bikes. So, and make our film and all that kind of stuff.
It's awesome getting to travel for this stuff and get to see, like, I got to travel and see a lot of stuff I never thought that I would have because of dirt bikes.
There's Andre. Wait, go back. There's Andre from Three Brothers right there.
Is that Andre?
With the jacket on. I think, yeah.
With the big jacket? Yeah.
Yeah. Or that maybe it was his brother.
One of the kingpins.
Yeah.
The Three Brothers.
Brazilian.
Oh, yeah. They showed us everything.
One of the Three Brothers.
Is this that Brazilian fucking meat fest where they just the Brazilian barbecue? Or no, this is Jack and Coke.
No, yeah, this is
We're at a bar.
Seth getting Jack and Coke.
But the one cool thing was, like, you go to those bars over there or a restaurant, and they've got that meat that's, just been cooking all day, whether it's pork or steak or whatever, and they just shave it off.
Yeah.
Give you a sandwich off that.
Yeah.
Well, they do the thing where they put all the steaks and the sausage, everything on like a sword, and they line it up on the table.
Yeah, they come around. They come around. Didn't we get like a tag, D, like, I want more, or
Yeah, Brazilian steakhouse where you get, like, it's either green or red, and you can flip your
green,
thing over.
if red, you're done for a while. Green, give me more. And then they slice whatever you want.
Yeah. We have one right by us here, which is amazing. We go there all the time. Not all the time.
We did the whole Brazilian thing that was very much like Hawaii. And we did the whole pit that we built and put the pig in there and then put the coals and then buried the thing for the whole day. And it just cooks all day. And then when you get the pork out of there, it's just like, that pulled pork that just melts in your mouth. So.
Hey, what about the fact that, like, back then we were so young and just having fun that we would actually run around and fuck around the streets like that? Like, nowadays, people are way too cool to do shit like that,
To
That's
do
pretty
what?
funny. That last shot. Well, the last shot when you're talking, that Carey Hart and Seth running around. Pretty funny. You know what I mean?
It's cool to look back at, some of this behind the scenes footage that nobody's ever seen. And for us, it's almost like looking at it for the first time ever because it's been so many years ago. And man, the adventures that we've been on and just looking at that footage brings up about 100 things that I could even talk about. But it'd be cool to have maybe Carey or Seth with us on talking about some of those adventures.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the goal, is to get some of the other people to come on and hang out with us as well.
Grayson Goodman and Denny Stephenson. That would be a pair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Denny was always one of the funniest guys in the room everywhere that we went. always a comedian, always upbeat, always, positive dude, and funny as hell. So that was Denny,
Yeah.
and still is.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. It's
Shout
like
out to you, Denny and Grayson, boys.
there you go for a little raw footage on the fucking Vault of Chaos.
Yeah,
Kind of kick off a little series here, I guess, right?
yeah. Hey, I
Yeah.
wanted to give a shout out, and Dana probably would like to as well, because what I'm wearing right here is some new black flies. There is black flies. Just came in the mail.
Nice.
And these are readers, but if you want, you can get the badass king flies. But anyways, they've been our sponsor for what? Since 1991, Dana. They've been sponsoring us, and I just wanted to give a shout out to Mo and some of the boys, because boy, they've been with us for over 30 years. So just a shout out.
Well, back before Krusty's, when I was a professional snowboarder, I did 3 different pro models, snowboard models with flies. They've been my sponsor from way back in the day with snowboarding. But
and Dana's talking about actually snowboards themselves, models.
Awesome. So they did snowboards too?
On top of glasses. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they used to do snowboard models back in the day of the early day of snowboarding. And when we made snowboard films, I actually rode for Avalanche and Kemper, and then wound up with flies and doing my own models. But no, good people. Back in the day, my boy Jack started the whole thing, and now Akira's, said Mo, are the OGs. But I get heads on them. Well, that's a little taste of, I guess, some of the little bit of the raw and some of the clips you've been putting up, Clint.
Yeah.
I think we've been getting a cool response and
Bub.
So now off on this mission. Yeah, Bub. We'll start getting some of the boys coming on with us and talking some smack.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, thank you everybody for hanging out and watching. Any specific maybe people you guys want to have on, let us know, and we'll try to marry them with some footage we have of them.
Yeah, and don't forget to tell people push the subscribe button or whatever right there. Clint's gonna put the button
wherever it
right
is.
there.
Is it here? Is it over here?
Where that button is, push the button and subscribe so we can get this thing just on a steady roll. And we have literally thousands of hours of funny, cool shit. And like I was telling Johnny, I'm like, I need to pull up a little bit of Jacko stuff, because we did some cool stuff at Jacko's pad. And I'm gonna find some raw Jacko tapes and what maybe early Crusty tour days, Johnny, when he's like Pastrana, he's like a 14-year-old, huh?
Yeah, in Crusty Demons 16, which was called Outback Attack, it was a nice piece that we did on Jacko. And then we did the funny skit with Taka, China Bike with Jacko. And since then, Jacko's been doing like the real moto stuff, which is insane. It looks like a nuclear bomb went off in his backyard with him doing backflips next to it.
Yeah.
He wanted to know how we did, like in one of the Krusties, number 2, how to come out of the ground with a dirt bike. So I kind of told him how we set that up, and I think that was part of his real moto. He wanted to know how we, blew up all those bombs at Larry Linkhogel's house for Crusty 6. And those were 5-gallon drums of gasoline that were blowing up next to Larry Linkhogel. So
nice.
Tell them how we
doing the new version of some of the crazy shit that we were doing back in the day. So it'd be cool to catch up with Jacko. Also Seth Enslow, we're going to have probably on, I think, next week, and he's going to tell us all about his 8,000-mile journey on a Harley Davidson from Huntington Beach, California to Alaska and back, and almost hitting bears on the freeway. So
Nice. Yeah,
Well, they
I've
call
been
that
thinking we're like still in the very first stages of Crusty, which I think is kind of the most nostalgic for everybody, just because, like you said, it is all two strokes, and then the fact that it's a lot of racers, and it's really like, I think it's more relatable for everybody than like, eventually, you know, now the tricks are so big that the average weekend warrior guy can't relate to Jacko doing front flips off of a regular ramp at 75 feet, you know.
probably not.
So everybody
I
can
think
relate
you
to
would,
this stuff.
I think you'd get really badly hurt.
I don't even understand,
yeah,
you
no,
know.
If you want to try Jacko stuff, I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, this is my point. I rode for a long time, and I'm still like, I don't even know. You know, like I
Yeah.
have no frame of reference with doing front flips, especially off of regular ramps at huge gaps like that. So, like, he's totally
Yeah.
out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah. No. Another note. Maybe I could put up some of that Richie Canyon helmet cam stuff we got going. That's I like that. Richie Canyon was one of the beginning. That's kind of the beginning of the beginning of Crusty Demons. You know, when we used to go there with Manley and Joel Albrecht, and that's where the whole, you know, I'm a
Tell people
snowboarder.
like what part of the world that is, Dana. Some guy sitting in Africa. Where is it? California? Where is it?
Richie Canyon's in California, but what I'm trying to get at is this was the catalyst of where we would go riding in California, and us as professional snowboarders would go with like the pro motocrossers, and you know, thanks to Brian Manley, thanks Brian, he loved to send me off like cliffs and poke stick, and you know, you're gonna go down this hill, and those guys are gonna go around and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
But that kind of was one of the beginnings. So to kind of like let some of that helmet cam run, show some of the early spots, you know, for all the people nowadays that, you know, go out in the hills. People are getting in the hills a little bit again, and you know, it's a little different. Jumps and takeoffs are a little different nowadays, but yeah, there's a lot of people getting back into the hills, I think, nowadays. But I think it'd be cool to see some of that early shit that we've always talked about. Then we could reference Kamikaze, because I still don't know why people still can't go back and session Kamikaze. It's still there.
I don't even know. I went through a bunch of that helmet cam footage, which a lot of it is Doug Parsons, and then I think you said you were riding it at the end, which I didn't make it to the end yet. But I don't think anybody goes up Kamikaze even in that. Doug's more running a couple of ridges and that trail.
No, it's before the end where he sets his bike down and he's standing there. That's in the little valley. He looks from the top of Swanson Hill and looks down on it. And then they go down there and he actually hits it a couple times. But they don't hit it to the right. They hit it to the left a little bit. So it doesn't really look like Kamikaze on film.
Got it.
So you kind of, well, I'll walk you through it off air or whatever.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you, everybody. And yeah, just keep her tuned, subscribe, keep it tuned, and we're going to be dropping a lot more raw footage, and then we'll be talking about some of the raw footage like this with some of the guys, and then also just straight up interviews. So yeah, we appreciate it, and we will see you later.
Remember, Guy, push the button, Guy, wherever the button is.
Good to see everybody.